Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast of all things buying a house. Today, Taylor and I thought we would do something a little fun, kind of a get to know us. One, so you guys know who you're taking advice from in buying a house. And two, just so you can kind of get to know us a little bit. So let's start it off. Taylor.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, things like that.
Yeah, so I grew up here. I grew up in Napomo on the Central Coast, and then went to high school there and everything. I went to college at Chico State, and then decided to come back here. Now I live in San Luis, and I'm studying to get my real estate license.
Woo!
Jump in.
She's going to be working with us. We're super excited for it. Taylor and I actually live down the street from each other, so we try not to get into too much trouble, but it's a lot of fun for sure. So I'm Celisa. I grew up actually down south in a little town called Temecula. We refer to ourselves as the other wine country, although I do much prefer to wine taste up here in Paso Robles. But it's super fun down there. I grew up there my entire life, born and raised, so was my mom. And then I moved up here about 4 years ago to the Central Coast. And that is actually how I got into lending, was when I moved up here. I got a job as an administrative assistant, and I just kind of worked my way up from there. I got my license. So you have to have 2 licenses to broker, which is what I do with Taylor and her mom. Mm-hmm. So I have my NMLS, which is what I got first. I got that within my first couple of months because I worked for a corporation, and that was the only license you needed. And then when Sharon, our boss, the owner of our company, decided to go out on her own, she wanted me to be able to do loans with her. So she asked me to go get my real estate license, which is what I got and what Taylor is studying right now to get. So I got that, I think, back in like September, October. Yeah, it hasn't been super long.
I think it was right when I signed up for the classes.
Yeah. I had just gotten mine. So now I have both licenses. I'm allowed to do loans, which is super awesome, super fun. And so now I've been doing that. So we'll give you a little bit of a dynamic, I guess, about our office. So Taylor's mom, her name's Sharon. We'll have her on a future podcast for sure because she's super awesome, has really good insight. She's been in the business for a really long time, and we love her. She opened up Pacific Coast Mortgage Group back in September, October, I think, and then took us a little bit to get all of our licensing stuff figured out. So we started doing business in November, which has been super awesome. It's been a really great opportunity and experience. And then Taylor graduated, like she said.
Graduated, yes, last May. Came home, lived back with my parents during summer. Got my stuff together, moved out, and then, I joined you guys like probably mid-December, really started.
Yeah.
January 1st, because I had another job.
Right, which is a different topic. So Taylor is now working with us. She is basically kind of what I did when I started. So an admin assistant. She helps us out with everything. She's the one who helps put this podcast together. She's amazing at it. She also does a lot of our marketing for our Instagrams and our Facebooks and everything like that. She is the guru, so we go to her for all of it. We always have her double check our captions, make sure we have everything right on there. So she helps us out with that. And then she's learning all of the ropes and the back ends of the business because honestly, it's tough for sure, especially learning everything, which is why we're doing this podcast for you guys, is to try and make buying a house just that much easier. We understand it's super complicated and there's so many different things that go into it. So hopefully here soon, Taylor will get her real estate license, and then she'll have to go get her loan license. But I think she'll be definitely prepared for that since she's been in the office with us, and then she can start doing loans with us as well. So it's super exciting. So what I've done for the last couple of years for Sharon and with us working together before I was doing loans is I was a processor. So basically what that means is that a loan comes to the loan officer, they pre-qualify them, tell them what, they're pre-approved for, what they can buy. The offer goes in on the house. and then you're in escrow, and then the loan goes back to the loan officer, and then she gives it to me. So as the processor, I get that loan. I get in touch with the client. I ask them for, any documentation that I feel like we're going to need for this specific loan that we're doing, because all the different types of loans require different documentation. And I go ahead and put that all together, and then I upload it to whichever lender we decide to work with. And then I'm in contact basically the rest of the time with the lender, the loan officer, and the client, basically letting them know, this is what the underwriter has requested as far as conditions. So once your loan goes in and it gets approved, it goes to an underwriter who is trained on each and every single loan that we have, and they have to underwrite it to specific guidelines. So it's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are the two big ones. Those are conventional and FHA, VA. They all go through the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac guidelines. And so the underwriter is trained to underwrite it to those specific guidelines. So they go through the loan, and they usually come back to us, and, if they see something or they need any other documentation, they'll come to me and the loan officer. Usually the way that I do it is I go ahead and just reach out to the client myself for the loan officer, because they're busy and their whole job is to be out there and getting business and bringing in the business. So my job is all the fun back end nitty gritty stuff. So I contact the client, I get those conditions for them. I work with any third party vendors that we have. So the appraisal company, the escrow company, title, I reach out to them for anything that, the underwriter has asked for, and I grab that from them. I send it back over to the underwriter. They approve me, or we call it a clear to close. And then I work with them to get the loan from that point into closing, get it funded, and get it recorded, which means you're completely done. So basically, I'm in on the whole process, which was a huge, I think, blessing in disguise for me to go that route, because I was able to learn all of that back end stuff. And a lot of loan officers don't get that opportunity. They come in just like a lot of real estate agents. They get licensed and they go right into getting loans or, finding buyers and sellers for houses. And they don't get that experience of learning all those guidelines and working with the clients for the conditions and things like that. So Taylor is kind of going in my footsteps, and she's learning all the back end processes, how to be a processor, our guidelines, things like that, so that when she's ready to be a loan officer, she'll have all of that knowledge. And I think it just puts you a step above for sure, because you can hit the client up front for things that you're going to need, as opposed to having to go to them late in the transaction, right before the close date, or a week before you're supposed to have docs out and asking for things. You can get that up front because all those guidelines, which is really nice. And it's another reason, again, why we're doing this podcast, is so that when you're ready to buy a house or start looking, you kind of know what we're going to be looking for, and you can be prepared so you have the smoothest transaction possible, because that's all we want. We want it to be a fun experience for you, not, oh geez, I have to buy a house, this sucks.
Right, yeah.
We don't want that. We want it to be a fun experience. Buying a house should be as much fun as possible, and so that's what we strive to do, is make it super fun. So I don't know, let's just tell the audience, I guess, a little bit more. What do you like to do for fun?
Oh, for fun? I mean, we live at the beach. We're on the Central Coast.
Very true. We do a lot of lake.
All the time. The
lake time, yeah.
Hikes, anything outdoors.
Do you wakeboard?
I don't wakeboard. I wake surf.
Okay.
Rarely.
Okay.
I'm more of like a chill on a tube and tan all day.
I feel that. I know you get on the jet skis a lot.
Yes.
Those are fun.
Love a jet ski.
Taylor also did track and field in college, so she is an athlete. Super awesome. I think there's a couple features of you, like, in the newspaper. I think your mom showed me a few.
Yeah, she definitely saved it all. But yeah, track was super fun. Sports were a huge part of my entire life, and I feel like I can take that in my line of work and everything, just being a team player and communicating with others and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I play softball. I still play.
Yeah.
I play in an adult league, which is super fun. Gets you out, gets to know people. Although right now in quarantine, we're canceled, so that sucks. But, those are our normal lives. Yeah, everything's on hold. Well, I mean, that's about it. We just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background on us and basically do a get to know us kind of podcast because, one, I know you don't hear Taylor as much in our podcast. I usually talk a lot because that's just who I am. So I thought it would be fun to kind of introduce her so you guys could get a feel for Taylor and then also just let you know our experience and where we're coming from. And why you should listen to our podcast on all things buying a house. Yeah. Because we do know what we're talking about, I promise. So, so that's basically it. We're going to end this one super short, super fun, just a little get to know you. And then we'll be posting another podcast after this one. Our next one is going to be conventional loans. I can't talk. Conventional loans versus FHA loans. So we're going to do the differences on those, why you should go with which one, and things like that, everything that you would need to know about getting those loans. So we will see you guys shortly for the next episode. Oh, also, if you guys want, you can follow me on Instagram or my Facebook. It's my first and last name, so Cilisa, Cilisa, and my last name is James, James. You can literally type that in. I will pop up. I have a very unique first name. Thank you, Mom. Makes it really easy. So I have business pages for both my Instagram and my Facebook. I also have my personal one. You're welcome to add it. It's just my life and everything like that. You can also add Taylor if you want. Hers aren't business quite yet. She's getting there, but you're welcome to add her.
Yeah, my Instagram is my first and last name, Taylor Nevitt. I'm probably a little harder to find because everyone has my name.
Right.
But I'm on Celisa's pages, and I need to make a business page soon.
Yes, we will be doing that next. And then we also have a YouTube page, correct, for our podcast?
Yes.
Okay, do you know?
Yeah, it should be under All Things Buying a House. And then if that doesn't pop up right away, just All Things Buying a House and add one of our names. Both of our names are on it.
So feel free to go on there, give us a thumbs up. That would be super awesome. So we know you guys are listening. We're now on Apple Podcasts, so we're official, guys, just in case you were wondering. You can also find us on there or where we started, which is Spreaker is the other one that we use. So just find us on any of our platforms. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments, too, if you guys want to hear anything else or what you think of our content.
Questions.
We love the feedback. Like I said, we're doing this for you guys. So we want to make sure that we're covering topics and subjects that you guys feel are necessary or you just want to know stuff about. So give us a like, give us a thumbs up, comment, leave us some love. We'd love to see it, and we definitely appreciate it. And we thank you guys for tuning in on our podcast every Wednesday. So thanks so much, guys.